Hello everybody, what's up again? This is Zeno, and today I realize that I always say those words. And today I'm going to show off my Gladiator. Oscar did nothing wrong. He didn't, I swear. I'm almost at 1k strength, level 76, and this will be my theory craft discussion. This will not be the end game. Look how amazing my build is. I'm not at that point, and who's to say this would be amazing? Let's not be too unrealistic here. Well, first off, I have the MTX swag on, and I just used the word swag. So moving on, I currently have 61 Blanc with Tempest Shield on, but this quickly goes up to 82, and I'm thinking about even making it 79 again. Let's theory. So first things first, this is another Brutus Lead Sprinkler Gladiator, and what I'm using is the counter attacks to deal double damage. So in this segment, we're going to be really focusing on Reckoning and Riposte. Let's pull up those skill gems and explain how these two work. So we got Reckoning, PoE, and Riposte. Also, everybody watching on YouTube right now, I am recording this from live on Twitch, so I will be responding to my Twitch chat. And Lost Arts agrees with me. I'm sorry, Lost Arts. I'm sorry. Here, I'll do this one for you, dude. That's how I feel right now. That one's for you, Lost Arts. All right, Twitch. You're going off to the side. Feel free to enjoy the theory and help make this build better. So Reckoning and Riposte, both of these skills are tagged Trigger, and they are counterattacks. So let's discuss Riposte first. So Riposte is a single target counterattack. That is, the conditions that need to be met is you have to block. And I do believe that this does work with staves. So if you want to get, how much dex now? 155 dex with staves. I believe this works with that. It will also always work with a shield and dual wielding, but I'm pretty sure it most certainly, yep, it does work with the staff. But for the instance of Gladiator, no one plays Staff Gladiator because all the nodes are specific to shield and to dual wielding. So, no Staff Gladiators. Feels bad. So Riposte will perform a single targeted attack whenever I block, and it has a cooldown of 0.8 seconds, which means you can, in Ethics, you can, if a monster is consistently hitting you whenever this cooldown is up, assuming you're in that vacuum of uptime, consistent permeation of uptime, you can get 1.25 ripostes a second. So think like that. That's how you need to think. You can reduce this down by 30%, so let's figure out what that is. So 0.8 times 0.7 would make this a 0.56 cooldown. So every 0.5 seconds you can, so nearly just shy of 2 ripostes a second. About 1.9 something. However, Reckoning is far superior. Reckoning is the bread and butter of this. So Reckoning is an area of effect counterattack that does deal less damage. So I get 108 with this, and with this one I get 138. So this, despite being a single target, gets 30% more damage than Reckoning. So think of 30% as a damage multiplier. We lose out on one of those. So to make up for Riposte, it has the damage but doesn't have the clear. I discovered when playing this character and leveling it up that you can use melee splash with Riposte, and it does work. It says it right here. So now we still have the 30% more than Reckoning, but now it is area of effect. So we have 2 area of effect counterattacks that are going off, except Reckoning is far superior because it's 0.4 seconds. So you can get 2.5 Reckonings per second. And it also has a 30% helm enchant, which means that 0.4 times 0.7 would make this a 0.28, which means you're almost getting 4 a second. You're getting like 3.8-ish a second, I think. .57 riposte, or excuse me, Reckonings a second. Pretty damn awesome. So in the be-all end-all of this build, in terms of if you have the money and you have the will and do you know the way, you need Reckoning cooldown speed. I need to get with Vectors for this. I think this will increase my damage massively. In this, I know Shaper Shields exist, but this is really hard to say no to in this build. And here's why. Currently, if you craft a shield, a Shaper Shield, this is the age-old debate, YouTube comments, Twitch, have at it. Whatever you think is best, speak your mind. Don't be a dumbass when you speak it. I need to know the truth. Help me out. Let's see. Shaper Shields can recover up to 5% of your maximum life when you block. And you can also gain charges when you block, which is alright. I do not want dodge ever, because dodge and evasion occur before block. So the way how this game is coded, you either evade and dodge, which is determined at the same time, and that's a whole nother set of theory to discuss at another time. When we make the Raider, we'll talk about it. After evade and dodge are calculated, it's then block and spell block. So if you're going to block it, if not, then you receive damage. And then there's of course critical strike chance, which is tied into all of that, and we're not even going to go down that rabbit hole. So dodge prevents block. So dodge is a no-no. It is never, ever, ever do pick it up as a gladiator. You hurt yourself. You deal less damage. It's nice to dodge and attack, but if you're dodging, you're not blocking, and dodging will always occur before blocking. So shape mods. Let's go back to that. 5% of my health back on block, or we could go with the surrender, which isn't as much. It's only 250 life on block, so it's static. It is a high base, so we don't have to play the getting block as a suffix on another shield. It does grant level 30 Reckoning skill, which makes Reckoning 20% more damage. So we go from 108 to 128. So, Shaper Shield, you get more life back on block. You can craft that beautiful mirror-worthy shield that nobody actually has, but everybody tells me to craft. We could talk about that guy. Or we could spend a bunch of chaos and get 20% more damage, and a static back of gain, static 250 life gain on block with 30% block and still getting 1500 armor. This is yeah, we get 1500 armor here, and then it has 1500 armor. This is an amazing shield to still use because of that multiplier. And remember, this build is an elemental damage build, so that's pretty huge. Elemental damage loves its multipliers. Let's keep going deeper into theory now. Let's talk the skill tree. So on my tree right now in the duelist section, I have a jewel that costs normally a fuse or an alch. And it, rightfully so, it has limited usability, but with BLS it's decent. As a gladiator, you need to get block. It is mandatory. So we have 9% block on this side of the tree, but normally this is physical attack damage. Let's take out this jewel. If you look here, this is all physical damage to attacks. Every single bit of it. There's 3 block here, but there is strength. So coming this way wouldn't be so bad if this was fire. With the Fireborn Jewel, this converts all of the physical into fire attack damage. And if you look here, we have nearly 5k on my Reckoning. When I take this out, it is now 4.2k. So this is 800 DPS, or average damage, I should say. Average damage. This is not DPS. DPS is not calculated with this. This is average damage. So we get 800 extra damage, or average damage, to our attacks. It's pretty damn good. And it also converts this starter node, which allows me to get the 12% block that is so important here. And you get a little bit of mana gain on block. Just get some strength, and of course life and life regen. And Riposte has a massively high dex requirement, so even this point is worth it. So it's rare when things like this happen, you just feel, it's just like rubbing your cheeks. Ah, feels nice. 12% block. Dual shield, dual wheel, dual shield. I guess it would be dual shield if you were wearing a shield with Advancing Fortress. That's dual shield. It does look like a shield. Can't deny that, Twitch. BLS is just so easy. It's so easy. And this is why I'm trying to make this challenge. Like, the only thing that's going to hold you back with this, in the end game, will be money. Sure. But this build, if you look here, I'm wearing Alberon's Warpath. It's a high roll, but you could buy 15% for 1 alch. Okay, 1 fuse. We won't talk about alchs here, Standard League. My apologies. This is another 1 fuse, 1 alch buy in Standard League. This is 1 chaos in Hardcore. This was 2 chaos for me in Hardcore. Anvil, this is a fuse in Hardcore, so it's probably even like 5 alts in Softcore. It gives me block chance and max block. This is the humble amulet you use until you get your amazing Zoph's Blood, which is expensive as all hell, or your Shaper amulet, expensive as all hell, or your tier 3 attribute talisman, which you can now craft from Bestiary. Good luck. Good luck to your RNG, people. That is now a possibility. This helmet is, without the Chaos Res, this is like a 2 or 3 Chaos helmet. With the Chaos Res, it's like an 8 to 15 Chaos helmet, depending on league. This is like 2-3C. It's just a crappy level 45, 49, 5 link. This was a 3 Chaos Tower Shield, just strength and res. These guys, let's see, pretty humble ring, low strength, level 35. Another level 35 ring. So I've made a bunch of YouTube videos where people are like, that's not budget at all, BLS is not budget. But it is because of Bestiary, and if you were unaware of that by now, at week like 2 now, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't get it in the beginning. When I started making the guides, and people were like, Brutus Lead Sprinkler, man, good luck for new players, yuck yuck, 13 exalts. Well, welcome to the times, it's 2 chaos. Like, this is absolutely viable for new players. Every single piece of gear I have on here, with the exception of the Chaos Res, I would say on this, is completely new player attainable and easy for any newbie to get. And I wanted to show that. I don't have 1,000 strength yet. I'm level 76. With Brutus Lead Sprinkler, you can go through the entirety of Acts 1 through 10, which is what most people do not do when they play Path of Exile. They're intimidated when they press this button. They're like, nope, I'm out. But if they like it, they have to get through 10 acts of grueling pain. Who doesn't understand stack strength? Strength gives HP, strength gives fire damage. I got this. Like, anybody can pick this up and play it, and I'm so happy that it's available this league because it's making me enjoy Ascendancies. The new Ascendancies are the only thing that's saving me. I'm not going to ever quit the game. I'm not going to quit the league, but it's like, how do I enjoy this league? You know, we've had votes on Bestiary. We've had all sorts of different shenanigans involving Bestiary, and I'm not going to be the guy hating it. They're working hard on fixing it. It's just not enjoyable. Let's be real. So the Ascendancies are great. Brutus Lead Sprinkler's out. Okay, I'm good. Stack Strength played the new Ascendancies. Remember every 3 months when we got one of these? When you open this up and you're a new player, I get it, man. This is not something you have. This is not easy to understand. But if you see get strength, and you understand that strength gives HP, and HP is the core of living, because, alright, that's action RPG number 1. How do I live? I'm tired of dying. I need health. Well, how do you know to get health? Go out of your way to pick it up, but there's strength along the way. This is like, it's a level 28 strength stacking weapon, and I'm so happy that it's free this week, pretty much. It's so easily attainable. Alright, so before we go back into more theory, I guess we can do a quick map. I'm 76, and by quick map I mean moderate walk. This is not a speed run, this is a moderate walk, people. Did I put in Maz? Oh, I put in Ash and Wood already. So this is a tier 6 map. At 76, doing a tier 6 map is, yeah, that's fair. Alright, so if you look, I do have the Reckoning and the Riposte going off, and right away we get an Abyss. Abysses are great. So let's pull this up. If you look at my block chance, it's currently 73 and rising, maybe. There we go. And we're at 82% chance to block, which means if you look at my hotbar down here, you just see them constantly going off. Like, I don't even have to move. Like, if I just get in these guys' faces, they just die. Oh, is this it's a death. Great, this is my first death of the league. Well, excuse me, I've had a few deaths. I haven't had any deaths. I haven't had any liches. I would love a lich for this YouTube video. That'd be so great. Rarely is the universe so neat. So, I'm still running a mana flask because if I block, I get mana back, but I don't have any mana leech, and mana leech is kind of in no man's land. This build can tank. This build is not going to be a fast build. If you like fast builds and you're sitting in softcore, I recommend trying out maybe the Assassin or the Elementalist. She's pretty damn quick. Inquisitor, things like that with Brutus Lead Sprinkler. But if you're tired of dying, as I showed in my gear, this is not an expensive set. This is a really, really cheap set. And you can just stand still, and monsters, as long as they attack fast, they will wreck themselves on you. I have 65 block when I fight this dude. That's it. 77, and then he just killed himself on me. No, I'm not going to stand there if we do have a Lich, which it's not looking like. I'm not just going to sit there. Eventually, late game, I want to do red maps without fighting the boss itself, like those really fast bosses. I haven't gutted a Fields map yet. That's the first boss where you could just sit there, because Brutus has a really, really fast attack speed. He has like a barrage type ability, and I just want to sit there and reckoning and repose his face into oblivion. After all the times he spit on me, it's time, Bruce. I need to get more Fire Pen, so I'm pathing towards Fire Pen right now in the Templar tree using Pure Talent. Pure Talent is only going up in price, so I guess people are realizing how insane it is. For attribute stacking builds, I think Pure Talent is a mandatory. For any other build, it's something to think about, but absolutely not a mandatory unless it is. It's like situational. So it opens up a whole new way to play the skill tree. So that's another thing that I'm really enjoying. Pure Talent came out in Abyss, and it opens up new pathing to the skill tree. And Brutus Lead Sprinkler being here and with my challenge this league, I'm really happy we have Pure Talent, because at least it's not the same skill tree since Breach, you know? Deadeye is pretty damn fast. That was the first one I did. With the movement speed shield, she was freaking fast as all hell, and Molten Strike was great. So this build, if I were to recommend this build, I would not recommend this build for solo play unless you got something to prove and you're used to playing by yourself. I do think this build is better for multiplayer because you're just so damn tanky. If you drop a decoy totem, maybe it's alright, that's better for champion, but if you're taunting them on and you just stand there in the fray and just keep monsters on you while whoever's in the back DPSing, you will serve your purpose. Like against a boss, allowing someone to get free reign of DPS and your counter attack damage will pull its own weight. Think of it like Prot Warrior from World of Warcraft. You'll pull your own then damage, you'll contribute enough. You're great at single target, but you're a slow and steady tortoise. Let's be real with it. And that's alright. This game needs slow and steady tortoises. Some people just love the feeling of doing that. Myself included. Alright. I can stand in these too. They help with damage. Let's see what we got here. Stingy Advice. That's what we're going to get from the Spire. You always get a guaranteed one now if you did not know that. Bum, bum, bum. So bring on the monsters. Bring them on. The monsters that stand in the back and just shoot stuff at me, I leave. Because they help me with single target. Always leave those dudes. So like I was saying, you don't really have to do much. You can keep up Fortify, but you really just won't take damage. Like I said, you're the main tank. You're the guy who stands still, and then you do that, and then you keep standing still. And your health won't move. I mean, you won't move either, but that's kind of cool, I guess. And I think it's a great way to stop this video here. Or not stop the video, but there's the gameplay. I don't know what else I could show. Like I said, great for multiplayer. It's great for single player too if you have time. If you have time, do it up. All right, let's keep going with this theory here. So this right here is what's giving me my block cap. You get 1% additional block chance for each hit you've blocked in the past 10 seconds, which means if I block for 10 seconds, I get +1 block. And, you know, if you're fighting a pack of 20, they'll kill themselves before you get to 82, but you go to the next pack, you'll keep up that block, and it's a forever sustainment. So against slow monsters, this is bad. But against slow-hitting, slow-acting monsters, this is bad. Golems, Devours. Unless it's a pack of Devours all shooting you at once, it's decent. You block the hell out of that. But it's any slow-action mobs, it's like... So fighting Minotaur, probably not a good idea. Fighting any boss that has tons of actions and tons of things on the screen, great for the Gladiator. You just get more block. You get 82 block. It gives 4% max block in my Anvil, which is making me feel like the Anvil, and I do plan on replacing with Azovs probably. it gives another 3% maximum block and 8% flat. So this thing is a great crutch. It's level 45, which is the beginning the, I'd say, Act 6, Act 5-ish. So when you're in there, this is a great boost. It's a great power boost. It starts to fall off a little bit right now because it's not... It gives me strength, which is nice, but that's it. Everything... It doesn't have life, no movement speed. Not that you really do get movement speed on here, but... what's it called? Karui Ward. I took off Karui Ward for this. I lost 10% movement speed, but I wasn't using Frostblades anymore, so... Anvil is perfect for the Gladiator. It also gives you reflect damage on block, which does get scaled ×2 for my counterattack, so it's something. If you want to go like Zenocide with this build, you get counterattack damage. I am not doing that because if I go Avatar of Fire, I lose half of it. If we go Shaper Amulet, we don't, and if we stick Amulet, we don't. So Shaper Amulet could be best. So let's look up like Zenocide. This is such a hard shield to not like in PoE. Hello, Oscar. You want to come and lay down? Alright. Like Zenocide gives me 250 to 300 cold damage to attacks, which is about 420 strength in terms of BLS. But it's cold. So if you pick up Zoth's Blood, you lose half of it. But it is multiplied by 2 from Gladiators, deal 2 times damage with counterattacks. So it's insane because it gives you damage, your hits can't be evaded. I'm currently running Resolute Technique. However, we could drop RT, and then you pick up Elemental Overload, so you get another 40% more damage to your counterattacks, and your Earthquake, pretty damn good. And there's 30 strength along the way, there's life here, you put in efficient training, you get all this stuff, and then you could be forever mana sustain. I'm about to be forever mana sustain through mana regen. So this is an option for this build. I haven't decided it yet. If I get a Talisman, an attribute Talisman... Talisman PoE. Bestiary League enabled the crafting of these talismans, and all you really have to do is catch wolves, canines, and wilds. That's it. It's wolves mostly, canines second, and then wilds, which all of them are. If you look down here, that's the crafting recipe. You can get the 3-rat talisman when you go to craft tier 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. There's 9 different. You have a 1 out of 9 chance to get a 3-rat talisman. So you're playing a dice game. And when you get the 3-rat talisman, there's no guarantee that it's going to be good. But if it's got life and strength, you're in a good position. You know, at a minimum. Because it's got up to 16% attributes. So this is a new way to get attribute percent on a necklace that does not mean Zoth's Blood and does not mean Shaper. It's a new interesting way to do it. So we have 3 options for Brutus Lead Sprinkler. I would like to say that one now. Pretty freaking cool if you ask me. I'm using Earthquake right now. Lift along. Aren't the disco lights annoying? No, not really. We do Club Xeno, and when I make my YouTube videos, we don't have Club Xeno going. So, like Zenocide is... That's everything I have to say about that. I don't need to run Blood Rage because we get Outmatch and Outlast. Attack speed actually hurts you with Earthquake. And I don't think I'm going to go with the Earthquake Helmet enchant. I would rather the Reckoning one. If I get the Earthquake Helmet enchant, I'll suck it up and do it. You know, it is what it is. Whatever I get first, sure. I'll even take the Riposte enchant, but I'm going to have to see if there's any Reckoning enchants out there with high strength. Though I doubt it. But if anyone wants to try this build out there, you're feeling 82% block and you want to stand there and be that guy and just tank, this is the build to do it. Again, I'm 76 and this is just a Theorycraft video. Hopefully I keep going on with this dude. I do get more block here too. I want to talk about this. This part of the tree is usually absolute booty hole. However, it isn't because you get 24% all res and 5% block with some shield defense. You get strength, which normally like, oh my god, this extra points for pathing. I'd rather take the dex and it's only 1 point. But now you get the life as well and the strength, and it leads out to greener pastures. We all know this side of Templar. We all know how much strength and life is here in a Jewel. Like, it's crisp, it's clean. Also with Pure Talent, I've talked about it in every single one of these Brutus Lead Sprinkler builds. If you are unaware of what it is, welcome to the fold. Here it is really quick. TLDR, by connecting to another class's tree, you get a buff. There are 7 classes. If you connect to the front of their tree, anyhow, anyway, you get a buff. So for instance, right now, I only have 2 of them. I have Duelist because I am a Duelist, and I have Scion. Scion yields me 25 all attributes. I get 28 all reds, which is great, because if I'm getting strength on every single piece of gear, resistance is a pain in the butt. If I want to wear Lycoside and drop this, I'm going to need all of this all reds everywhere. It's just mandatory. 12 here, 24 here, 28 here. At this rate, I could just put on Wise Oak and have an all-res tree done, set, ready to go. It's kind of amazing because this also gives me 4% block, 25 attributes plus 5 strength. So this is 35 strength, 25 int and dex with 4% block and 28 all-res and strength along the way. Suddenly, this is like a whole new way to play the game. I love pure talent. I think this changes up everything. Then my next 4 points that I'm working on will be going into the Templar tree, where I get 20 strength here. This will be life and mana regen, and this is flat life percent and mana percent. And when you're connected to the Templar tree, you get 4% Ellie Pen. So that's another 5% Ellie Pen. So that's this node right here is life, mana regen, and 5 pen. Suddenly, this is like a solid. This is like a 4. You know, think of it. It's just not a wheel. If it's not in a wheel, is it bad? No, you just have to read. You know, if they put this in one of these edgy-looking wheels, you'd be like, oh, wow, what's this? 20 strength, life, fire pen, and mana and life percent? Sure, that sounds great. It's like placebo, man. You can't fool yourself. It's worth it. Pure talent opens up a whole new way to play the game. If you're having trouble with mana, and like I said with Lycoside, you can put efficient training in here. This becomes strength and strength. This does give spell damage, which does nothing, but it does give base mana regen. So if you're like for the Elementalist with pure talent, if you're playing that Cyclone build I put up earlier, this is like a godsend for your build. It's suddenly Witch Elementalist is amazing because you can just jump right out of here and now you're everybody else. You are not the Witch. And the mana regen makes it so you don't even feel bad losing this point. And there's mana regen here, and then mana. It just makes sense. Pure talent opens up everything. 1% attack leech is pretty crazy as a duelist. I will be getting the Marauder. Marauder is 15% increased area of effect, which is important for both the melee splash on my riposte and the Reckoning. I also have to quality this because it gives 10% area of effect. So we do get 15 AoE here from being connected to the Marauder tree. And then 5 pen. I don't know if I'll go Witch. I haven't decided. I don't think I can. 25 attributes and 1% attack leech. That's how pure talent works for this build. I do have an Onslaught jewel, but it's pretty trash. It's only 3%. I need to get a better one. 3% is just not good. 8% or bust, I feel like. And I've already knocked out a majority of this, so that's all I really got to say about this build. I hope you guys enjoyed this theory craft and you got to witness me do Adepts. Not horribly fast, but hopefully not horribly slow because I didn't really take any damage at all, period. I know it's just a tier 6 map, but I'm only 76. Let's hope I keep going on. Thanks for watching. I'm Zeno, and I'm out.